All right, let's get into chapter 28 of the book of Job. Surely there is a vein for the silver and a place for gold where they find it. So I consulted the Geneva Study Bible here. His purpose is to declare that man may attain in this world to various secrets of nature, but man is never able to comprehend the wisdom of God. Iron is taken out of the earth and brass is molten out of the stone. We're going to see this mining analogy throughout this chapter. He setteth an end to darkness and searcheth out all perfection, the stones of darkness and the shadow of death. Very poetic expression of what the miner does. The pulpit commentary here says, he setteth an end to darkness. Man, in his desire to obtain these metals, setteth an end to darkness, i.e., letteth in the light of day, or the artificial light which he carries with him upon the natural abode of darkness. The inner parts of the earth. The miner's first operation is to pierce the ground with a shaft, perpendicular, horizontal, or oblique, as suits his purpose. Through this, the light enters into what was previously pitch darkness, and searcheth out all perfection. The stones of darkness and the shadow of death, rather, and searcheth out to the furthest bound the stones of thick darkness and of the shadow of death. Explores, i.e., the entire murky Regina within the earth, notwithstanding its fearful gloom and obscurity. Verse 4, the flood breaketh out from the inhabitant, even the waters forgotten of the foot. They are dried up, they are gone away from men. So again, with mining, the pulpit commentary says, the flood breaketh out from the inhabitant. This passage is very obscure, but recent critics suggest as its possible meaning, he, the miner, breaketh open a shaft away from where men inhabit. The miner does not wish to be interfered with, and therefore sinks his shaft in some wild spot, far from the habitations of men. Even the waters forgotten of the foot, rather, they are forgotten of the foot. I.e., no one visits them, they are left alone, they are forgotten of the foot of the passerby, they are dried up, they are gone away from men, rather they hang swinging to and fro, far from men. The descent of the shaft is made by a rope, to which they hang swinging, all the time that they defend, as they have sought secrecy. All this takes place far from the haunts of men. It's interesting contemplating all this mining. The book of Job, I guess, was supposedly, they try to say it was written between the 7th and 3rd century BCE, I believe. And it's interesting to think about what the mining techniques were like at that time. I mean, I guess since the dawn of recorded history, man has been mining. I think it goes back. To I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it goes back like maybe 4200 BC. Let's see. Let's look it up. When did gold mining begin? According to Wikipedia, gold mining began. The exact date that humans first began to mine gold is unknown, but some of the oldest known gold artifacts were found in the Varna necropolis in Bulgaria. The graves of the necropolis were built between 4700 and 4200 BC, indicating that gold mining could be at least 6,724 years old. Pretty wild. Very advanced, I guess, for that time. Verse 5, as for the earth, out of it cometh bread, and under it is turned up, as it were, fire. So I think this just highlights the contrast between what the earth naturally produces and the mining imagery that we've been going over so far. The stones of it are the place of sapphires, and it hath dust of gold. There is a path which no fowl knoweth, and which the vulture's eye hath not seen. The lion's whelps have not trodden it, nor the fierce lion passed by it. He putteth forth his hand upon the rock. He overturneth the mountains by the roots. He cutteth out rivers among the rocks, and his eye seeth every precious thing. He bindeth the floods from overflowing, and the thing that is hid bringeth he forth to light. But where shall wisdom be found, and where is the place of understanding? Man knoweth not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth saith, it is not in me, and the sea saith, it is not with me. It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal it, neither shall it be valued with pure gold. Whence then cometh wisdom, and where is the place of understanding? Seeing it is hid from eyes of all living, and kept close from the fowls of the air. Verse 22, destruction and death say, we have heard the fame thereof with our ears. I thought this was pretty intriguing. You know, all these lines are very poetic and intriguing. And I love the idea of using minors to talk about the search for truth and wisdom. I've noticed in doing this Bible study, I've mentioned this probably in a previous video, that the more philosophical and poetic takes come from the Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges. And I thought I'd include that. So destruction and death, the Hebrew is Abaddon and death. Abaddon is Sheol, the realm of the dead, here personified as also is death, compared with Revelation 1:18, Revelation 9:11, and see on chapter Job 26:6. The fame thereof, the report or rumor thereof, destruction and death have only heard of wisdom. They have no knowledge of it, much less is it to be found with them. It is not true, alas, in the sense that there must be wisdom with great death. The words we have heard, the report thereof, ascribe neither a less nor a greater knowledge of wisdom to death than the living possesses. Both are equally ignorant of it, and equally without it. As Job 28:13-14 told how wisdom was nowhere to be found in the upper world, so Job 28:22 states that it is not to be found in the underworld. The process of exhaustion is complete. Wisdom is nowhere to be found, neither in the bowels of the earth, nor in the markets of mankind, in the deep nor in the sea, neither in the land of the living nor in the place of the dead. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't think about like the theology of the underworld or hell or whatever very much, but the idea that wisdom is not there, I find that to be really intriguing. Verse 23, God understandeth the way thereof, and he knoweth the place thereof. For he looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heaven, to make the weight for the winds, and he weigheth the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning of the thunder. Then did he see it and declare it, and he prepared it, yea, and searched it out. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So that's a whole thing. The fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. So any other wisdom that we could possibly have, so long as it's not connected to the fear of the Lord, it's not real wisdom. So that's a big topic. All right, moving on.